Hey everyone, I gotta tell you about this crazy day that happened back in November. So picture this. It's one of those gloomy, rainy days where the sky looks like it's about to unleash a storm. I'm just minding my own business, having lunch in the school canteen with my buddies, when all of a sudden it feels like the world is turned upside down. We're chatting and laughing, typical lunchtime stuff, when out of nowhere there's this deafening boom that echoes through the entire school. I swear my heart practically jumps out of my chest, and I can feel the panic starting to rise in my throat. Next thing I know, all hell breaks loose. Kids are screaming, tables are overturned, and chaos erupts in the canteen. I'm frozen in shock, trying to process what's happening, when I see the security guards rushing in, their faces grim and determined. They start herding us out of the canteen and into a spare room where we're told to stay put and keep quiet. My friend Jay, bless his heart, turns to one of the security guards and asks what's going on. And that's when we hear the news that sends shivers down our spines. Apparently, there's some crazy man lurking outside the school, watching the kids. And get this, he's a registered sex offender. My stomach churns at the thought, and I can feel the blood draining from my face. We sit there, in that room, huddled together in fear as the minutes tick by like hours. Outside, the storm rages on, matching the turmoil inside my mind. I can't shake the feeling of dread that hangs in the air like a thick fog. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, the all clear is given, and we're allowed to go home. But the terror doesn't end there. When I get home and turn on the news, I see it plastered all over the screen. The crazy man has been arrested, thanks to the quick action of the security guards. I breathe a sigh of relief, but the memory of that day lingers like a shadow, haunting my thoughts and reminding me of just how fragile our sense of safety can be. School should be a place of learning and laughter, not fear and uncertainty. But on that day, it felt like the world had come crashing down around us, leaving us shaken to our core. Hey guys, I gotta share this crazy story that went down on the last day of school before the holidays. So, there I am, stuck in the middle of a math test, just trying to survive until freedom rings. You know? But then, out of the blue, the head teacher's voice crackles over the intercom, and my heart drops like a stone. Lockdown drill, she says, all calm and collected. But there's something in her voice that sets off alarm bells in my head. We all exchange nervous glances as the teacher tells us to lock the doors and stay put. I can feel the tension in the air, thick and suffocating. Then, just as we're starting to settle into the eerie silence, the lights flicker and go out, leaving us in pitch darkness. I hear a few startled gasps from my classmates, and my hands start to shake as I fumble for my phone, desperate for some kind of light. But before I can even unlock the screen, there's this weird buzzing noise, like a swarm of angry bees descending on us. My skin prickles with goosebumps, and I can feel the hairs on the back of my neck standing on end. And then out of nowhere, there's this deafening bang echoing through the corridor outside our classroom. My heart feels like it's lodged in my throat as I strain to listen for any sign of what's happening. The air is thick with tension, and I can practically taste the fear that's swirling around us. Suddenly, there's screaming. Real, gut-wrenching screams. And my blood runs cold. 3 girls in the class start crying, their sobs echoing off the walls. I want to run. To hide. To do anything to escape the nightmare that's unfolding before my eyes. And then just when I think things can't get any worse, there's this loud, ominous banging on our classroom door. My heart stops, and I hold my breath, waiting for whatever's on the other side to come bursting in and tear us apart. But miraculously, the banging stops, and there's this eerie silence that settles over the room like a heavy blanket. We wait, holding our breath until finally, the head teacher's voice crackles over the intercom again, telling us it's safe to leave. I stumble out of the classroom, my legs like jelly, and it's only later, when I'm safe at home, that I find out what really happened. Turns out some crazy guy had stormed into the school and assaulted the women at the front desk. I still can't wrap my head around it, even now. School should be a safe place, a place where you go to learn and grow. But on that day, it felt like the world had turned upside down, and there was nowhere to hide from the chaos and the fear. I live in a normal town. Nothing out of the ordinary happens here, but I will always remember something. From my 7th grade year, my teacher was a tall guy with a black goatee. He was always nice and let basically anything slide. He always brought a sense of calmness to the class. It was a normal history period. We were finishing up our 7-year war slideshows. I was talking to my friend. I'll call him Mark. When the power flickered, everyone was laughing it off. But me, I was always a nervous kid. There's no storm. Wonder why the power would do that. I have a bad feeling about all this, I whispered to Mark. It's nothing, don't worry about it, he whispered back as he was saying that we heard the buzz of the phone in our class. Mr. Johnson, fake name BTW. Please pick up the phone, the secretary said in a tense tone. We all knew something was up. To confirm my suspicions, he put a sheet of paper over the class door window. He went over all the lockdown rules and such. His voice sounded like he was scared as he finished. One of the girls in the class saw out of the window a man outside of the school trying to get in, using a recess yard. The girl screamed, "Lockdown, this is not a drill." We heard over the speakers. We were ushered over to the corner, where we waited for what felt like hours, until footsteps down the hall and moaning it got closer and closer, until it was banging on the door. "I'll kill you all." We heard from the other side of the door, the police showed up and arrested the man after he banged on the door for a good 10 minuets. No one knows the story behind any of this, but no one in that school will forget it.